Hello, distinguished friends and colleagues. This is Stuart Hamilton, Pro-Life Activities Coordinator for the Archdiocese of Louisville, Kentucky, serving under Deacon Stephen Bowling, and this is 5 Minutes for Life, where we take 5 minutes to discuss some ministry, some event, or some topic that affects the pro-life movement here in the Archdiocese of Louisville. Before I get into this video proper, I want to bring up something. November 8th, there is an election on here in the state of Kentucky, and I need you to show up to the polls. November 8th. I need you to show up to the polls. Vote if you want to. Don't vote if you don't want to. I don't care if you vote Democrat or Republican. I need you to show up to the polls for ballot initiative number 2. Ballot initiative number 2. You're going to show up to the polls. You're going to scroll past ballot initiative number 1, go to ballot initiative number 2, and vote yes. Vote yes for life. Vote yes that you want an amendment to the Kentucky State Constitution which says you cannot read that Constitution in such a way that there is a right to abortion in our Kentucky State Constitution. It is paramount, if we want to protect the lives of the unborn, that we vote yes for ballot initiative number 2 on November 8th. So you show up on November 8th, you bring a carload of your friends, you bring a busload from your church, but get everyone to vote yes on ballot initiative number 2 on November 8th. And if you need more information to tell them about it, go to voteyesforlife.com. There's lots of stuff there about Vote Yes for Life initiative. Please vote yes for life. Ballot initiative number 2 on November 8th. Now, this video proper is the second in a series of videos I'm doing on pro-life apologetics. I think it's more important than ever for us to be able to give a reason for why we believe that the unborn have the right to life. In my last video, I dealt with the hard topic of women whose lives are endangered by their pregnancy. I talked about various scenarios, including ectopic pregnancies and miscarriages. A lot of that's in the media right now, and if you want to know an answer for that, you might want to click a link on that video down in the description of this video. But on this video, this is part 1 of a 2-part series I'm doing on rape. What about children who are conceived in rape? Now, this topic has been front and center as every abortion advocate says, if we do away with abortion at the state level, rape victims will be forced to bear children. And most Americans, by polling, they don't agree with that. They don't believe that rape victims should have to bear children. As a matter of fact, just recently, on the #1 podcast in America, this is the Joe Rogan Experience. Podcaster Joe Rogan had an interview with Seth Dillon, who's the Christian CEO of the Babylon Bee. There was a tense exchange specifically on this situation of abortion with rape, right? And Joe Rogan basically voiced what the everyman position appears to be on this. He said, and I quote, "If I have a 14-year-old, my 14-year-old daughter got raped, I don't think the government has a right to force my child to bear a rapist's baby." Now, I think it's unfair that he called him a rapist baby, but when you're talking to people on the street, they say very similar things. They don't think the government has a right to force this on women who have been raped, particularly really young children who have been raped as early as 10 years of age. Now, I think the age is somewhat irrelevant. The point is what we need to deal with. Now, I want to tell you up front, I don't know that you want to begin with this, but you should know this. Only a little over 1% of all the abortions that happen on an annual level have anything to do with rape. That's according to the Guttmacher Institute, Planned Parenthood's reporting agency, right? So they have every reason to inflate those numbers, right? But they state, they're self-reporting, that on an annual basis, only a little over 1% have anything reported to do with rape. So that means 99% of the abortions that occur on a yearly basis have nothing to do with rape. But I think it's an important thing that you point out that you agree that that 1%, those women and their situation matter. Because I believe that when you're talking to someone, you need to agree as much as you humanly can on the things that you can agree on. So I agree. Rape is a serious crime. I agree. The women that are raped are in serious trauma. And I believe that the lives of that 1% it's really seriously that we take their trauma seriously, that we validate it. Now, after we reach a point of agreement, I do like to ask, and I think it's important for you to ask, do you know someone who's been raped, or have you been raped? Because I may deal with things a little bit differently if I find out the person I'm talking to conceived in rape and had an abortion. I might want to know a little bit about their story, get to know them better, before I talk to them about why I believe the unborn, even those conceived in rape, have a right to life. Now, once you get through that preliminary of I agree with you about rape trauma, I like to ask a question. The first question is woman-centric, and it's this. Do you believe that abortion will undo the rape, or is a cure for rape trauma? Is abortion a cure for rape trauma? Will it undo the rape? That's a fair question, because a lot of people are treating abortion like it's a cure for rape, like it's going to undo the woman's trauma. But statistically, that really isn't the case. Many, many women who have abortions after they've conceived in rape have reported that it actually made their trauma exponentially worse for multiple reasons. Women who have abortion that are surgical abortions reported that that is a very invasive procedure that just compounded their trauma. Other women said that later in life, they had to deal with not only the trauma of being raped, but having known that they killed a child in rape. Well, the bottom line is, whether you're one of those women or not, you're going to have to admit that psychologists don't tell women to go out and have abortions to cure rape, okay? Because it doesn't. Because the trauma is still going to be there, and it might actually get worse. So abortions aren't going to cure the woman. The abortion isn't necessarily going to make the woman's position better from a trauma perspective. Okay, so that right off the bat we need to establish. But then we need to go on beyond there, particularly if the person is saying, look, I just don't think it's right. This rapist baby, right? No, whoa, hold on. You shouldn't really refer to the unborn as the rapist baby. That kind of infers that the child should be punished for the father's crime. I like to point out this. The father is the criminal. The father did the traumatizing. The father is the one who is punished, and there is no law anywhere, and no law being broken, and no crime that someone could commit in which you punish the child for the father's crime. Imagine there's a father, I normally like to say, who goes out and kills a busload of people because of drunk driving. Do you then go find the baby of that drunk driver and punish the baby of the drunk driver? Now, this is a way to turn our thoughts towards what's really important. The conversation has to get away from the mother, away from the rapist's father, and back to the unborn. We need to turn the conversation towards what's being lost in the abortion. When the woman is going in and she's getting rid of something, what is she getting rid of in abortion? And I ask that because it's important to note a pregnancy, a child, an unborn child is being gotten rid of. Now, this won't get you all the way, but we've gotten halfway. Remember, what we're addressing in this video are two things. One, abortion won't cure rape. It won't undo it or cure the trauma from rape. And two, the child is not the rapist's child. The child is just a child. He's not guilty of the father's crime. And either the unborn have a right to life or they don't. In my next video, I'm going to take up, if you're talking to someone who believes that children conceived in rape should be aborted, how you can talk to them about how this unborn baby has a right to life. Okay, we'll pick that up in part 2 of this video. God bless you if you've stuck with me so far, because this has been a long one. And remember, every life is important in God's eyes, because every life has dignity in the eyes of God. God bless you. Have a good evening.